All right, cool, great. Hello, this is the Roundabout Podcast, and this is episode 25. I am your host, Austin Sudduth, and with me I have one Michael Levine, a complete Shane Neiswanger, and a whole Tyler McClellan. How are y'all today?
Doing great.
Well,
Michael, you have something for us. You told us.
Tyler, would you like to tell us how you're doing? Because he just trained or just railroaded
I gave him enough time. You said you had something for us, and I'm excited
He
for
was
you to start
starting to
this off.
speak up.
Who?
well, it's
Tyler.
Speak
kind
faster.
He kind of said what he needed to, though, because I was about to say I'm still sitting here scratching my head trying to figure out if we were doing Michael's idea or not.
See? There we go. Michael, go.
Go.
Okay, so as we all know, in February,
Valentine's Day.
Winter Olympics, actually. It is Winter Olympics time. And I had an idea the other day that I thought could be interesting. So, there's a lot of countries that participate in the Winter Olympics, right?
Yes.
What if we did a draft of picking Winter Olympic countries and scoring medals, right? We get the medal count of the 4 or 5 countries that we each draft. I don't really have an idea of what the winner gets, right? Just could be interesting. But an interesting wrinkle to this, because, I think there's some obvious favorites in the Winter Olympics. The U.S. tends to do very well, and some of the other countries. I think we have to pick from the bottom half.
So we need to research all the countries of the past Winter Olympics and be like, these are the bottom contenders, and these are the only ones you can pick from?
Yeah, I mean, I'll come up with the draft list of this is the pool. And I'll get it to you, before we record, so you can have a look. And my thought is I'll pick bottom half countries, and I'll include how many athletes they have, and then we can kind of go from there. Of I'm thinking countries that normally only get less than 3 medals, kind of thing, right? But we have to draft the ones we think we want, the ones we think might medal this year, and go from there.
Is there any countries that have participated that haven't medaled? Even a bronze medal?
I have no idea.
If we're looking at bottom half, how many of those countries are medalists?
I don't know. Jamaica just got a gold medal in bobsledding.
Oh, Jamaica, they have a bobsled team? They have one Doris and one Junior.
Bro, Jamaica, there's a whole movie about
Yul Brynner and my man Senka, the fastest of the fastest? Those guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wore that VHS tape out.
They actually, in real life, just won gold in a international competition.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
John Candy would be so happy about that.
Yeah, he would.
I think that's what the winner should get, is a Jamaican bobsledding t-shirt.
I'm going to have to ask this because he's young. Shane, do you know what I'm referencing?
Yes, I think they made me watch that movie in school.
Good.
I want to say I watched it in school at one point, too.
I never watched that in school.
I've watched that at home.
Wow.
In school, but I definitely think I did watch it in school at one point. But it's a great movie. Great story, too.
Fantastic movie. I wore that VHS tape out. I think I made it to where that VHS tape couldn't play anymore.
I was going to say, you want to try that again? Or
Yeah, I got too excited.
Well, in your defense, though, it doesn't take a whole lot to wear a VHS tape out to the point where it doesn't work anymore.
True.
One bad spin and it's game over.
Oh, I think that was my favorite movie for 3 to 4 years running.
Speaking of VHS, Austin, have you ever seen the movie VHS?
I didn't know that was a movie.
It is. It's a cut-rate horror movie. I probably just offended a lot of people because I'm pretty sure that movie has a very big cult following.
All bad movies do.
That's true. That is true. That's our draft right there, is bad movies. Worst movies that we've all seen.
Ooh.
I do like it.
See, the thing is with quote unquote bad movies, people who are into bad movies know they're bad movies. So you don't really offend them. They're like, yeah, we know. We're fully aware.
Well, and that's the good question, though, is is it good bad movies or is it just bad movies? Because there is a difference.
That's true. There are some that's their style.
Okay, I got one for you, and I hope some of you have seen. Have you ever seen the movie Rubber?
No.
That sounds like bootleg flubber.
No, it's
about a tire that comes off a truck and tries to kill people, right?
Yes, it is about a tire that just rolls around and murders people. It
That
was on
sounds
Netflix.
awesome.
It is. It sounds way cooler than it actually ends up being. I'll tell you that much. It's very stupid.
I'm putting that on the
Now that's a
watch
good
list.
example of a good bad movie. Now, I think I brought this up in this podcast before, but have any of you seen the new War of the Worlds movie with Ice Cube in it?
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, it was a Netflix movie. It is abysmal. So bad. And it's bad. Like, I remember watching it all the way through, and 20 minutes in, I was like, this is stupid. I need to turn this off. But I gave it a chance. Essentially, take the entire movie. Think of a movie played entirely through a person's computer screen. So, like, pulling up Teams to message his kids. He's like I think he works for CIA or something. So he's like tapping into cameras, FaceTime. Like, that's how you see everything transpire, right? And it's Ice Cube, which, yeah, sure, some movies can make it great, but 85% of the time, Ice Cube makes a movie just hard to even watch, I think. He's a hard person to take seriously. And it's just bad, man. You need to watch it, though. Yeah, it's one of those I feel like you need to watch. But it is not a good bad movie. It is just a bad movie.
You didn't give that a glowing endorsement. I don't know if I'm gonna go.
But it's just one of those you got to watch it because you got to watch. I don't know how to explain it. Especially if you watched the original War of the Worlds movie.
That's like saying, oh yeah, you could probably find a better use of an hour and a half, but
You definitely could.
Use it on watching. What was the movie called again? War of the Worlds.
Robert.
I think you should just make it a big 3-hour event. Watch them both.
Just like Avatar, I hated that movie too.
Oh, see, now that's just a hot take.
No, do not take
It is.
when did Avatar come out?
Been like what? 10
Oh
years ago or
man,
more?
like 2010, 2011, I think.
Yeah, so it's been
All right, so I was 9
Maybe
years
even
old
longer.
watching Avatar, and that ruined movies for me.
Why?
I hated that movie. I don't know. I hated that movie. It took too long, and from that on, for like years, I'm like, all right, movies are a waste of time. Get something else.
2009.
That's a long time.
That's
So,
a long time.
I
ago.
will say this, Shane. You need to go watch
So you
that
wouldn't
one
be
again.
interested in watching Avatar 2?
No, wait, 09. I might have even been younger. Yeah, it was
You
like
need to
7
go
or
watch
8.
that movie again because there's a reason it did as well as it did. It is a fantastic movie. It is a long
I
I
one.
would say everything I heard about it. I never watched it, but everything I heard about it, it was very much a movie you needed to see in theater in an IMAX. Like the big pull for it was a lot of the visual tech.
It's a visual movie.
As I say, everything I heard about the story, it was a very like formulaic, typical like plot, but that it had like incredible visuals.
And
'Cause,
maybe
I mean-
that's what I remember about it. Maybe I just remember the visual side of it.
Well, that's the thing.
maybe we
That's what
can
it
rent
was.
out a theater and
I did go watch it in a theater for what it's worth.
You're
So
gonna
did
make me watch it again?
I think you should.
in
Yeah.
a theater.
You were
I was in a
how
theater
old
the
you
last
said?
time. And I
9?
had to, if it came out in 09, I was born in 02, so
So yeah, you.
No
I was-
wonder you didn't. Like it.
Yeah,
7
that is
years old
very
watching
much.
Avatar.
Yeah, that is very much like you kind of want to be the age range for that kind of movie.
I don't know how I ended up there, but I asked to leave about an hour
You
in.
should have been watching the other blue people. You should have been watching a Smurfs movie.
Which might have also came out around that time.
It probably did. I think the live
2011.
Smurfs, yeah, I was about to say it was a little bit after that, which is another decent movie, I will say, for what it's worth. Well, since we're on the topic, not a full blown draft, Austin, what's your number one movie of all time?
No, save it for a draft.
Okay, no, remember we're drafting bad movies. I'm just asking him. what
yeah,
his
but we
favorite
might
movie
also
is.
we might
That's
also do
fair,
a
that's
draft of
fair.
our best movies.
Austin, don't you dare tell me what your favorite movie is.
Okay,
Who has the
Thank you.
first pick in this draft?
we
It's random.
randomize it.
Yeah.
Unless we're about to make this an on the spot supplemental.
I mean, I could do it on the spot movie draft in a heartbeat. Don't you worry, but I'll give you people time to prepare.
What do you mean, you people?
Well, other than Austin, maybe. Shane is mainly what I'm saying. Let's be honest. I'm talking about
I'm gonna have to
Shane.
go watch some movies.
I was gonna say, yeah, Shane,
I've seen
Shane's
about
gonna be
If
12
like,
of them.
Shane has to list his top 20, he's going to have to go watch 7 more movies.
Right.
somebody tap in Hunter. Shane doesn't know what he's doing.
I wonder if I could name 20 movies.
Oh, we're gonna have to get all 5 of us for it.
Oh yeah, I definitely think drafts are are all 5 of us for sure.
My family aren't big movie people either, though. I'm the only one that is.
I'm not like, especially anymore. It's weird. Like I just went through a period where I just kind of stopped watching them. It was mostly in college, and I think a lot of it was because I was taking like film and digital media classes, and they force you to watch a lot of movies as part of that. And I think part of it, I kind of remember the time that it happened. I went to see District 9, and I realized that through most of the movie, I wasn't enjoying the movie. I was like analyzing and picking apart what the director was doing the whole time. Like I realized I was just like analyzing the movie the whole time and not actually watching it. And kind of from that point on, it was like, oh, like I don't know. I fell off movies. Like I watched some stuff, like I watched through all the Harry Potter stuff, and like I love Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, a lot of that stuff, but I don't just kind of like casually watch movies anymore.
So I nitpick movies a lot too, but I almost think that's the enjoyment in it for me. Now, obviously, if you were going to school and stuff, you're looking at it from a different perspective. But
yeah, like I'm not nitpicking plot, like I'm nitpicking like camera angles and cuts and edit, how they edited it, and like not the fun stuff of like, oh, I don't know about that character's motivation, like it was like I remember thinking like there's what I think was probably a pretty cool scene in that movie where they go into a building, like they're raiding a building, and they have the cameras are mounted like on the barrel of the gun looking back up at the character as they're going in.
So for context, I just watched this movie, no joke, like not even a month ago again.
Good movie. I really enjoyed it.
It is a good movie. It's set up perfectly for a sequel that never happened.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, because he was supposed to do the Halo movie. Neil Blomkamp. He was supposed to do the Halo movie, and then it never materialized.
Probably for the best.
I think Neil would have done a phenomenal job. I think District 9 is proof he would have done a phenomenal job with it. But yeah, based on how the movie went now.
Where's District 9.5?
Yeah. But like that whole scene, I didn't really like take in what was happening because I was thinking, how did they mount that to the gun without it being too heavy? And how much time did they take having to paint out the supports for it? And like I was just thinking about the like production instead of the shot, like instead of the movie itself. So it just kind of hey Shane, I don't know if you're making your draft list, you might want to stop sharing your screen.
I was gonna see if I could name 20 movies.
He's just trying to name 20 in general. Told you he's got to watch 7 more.
So yeah, I don't know, that right about that time is kind of when I fell off a lot of movies. I have a hard time watching them, and sometimes TV's the same way. And so if it's anything narrative, I just have a hard time watching it because I just end up looking at the production. And like I do it with a lot of stuff. I do it with like Mythbusters and Top Gear, but because of the way those shows are shot, it doesn't like or like the way those shows are, it doesn't really take me as out of the moment because it's almost part of the thing of how they're doing it. So like those don't bother me as much, but like anything narrative I really struggle with. And a lot of it, like I said, there's other factors too sometimes, but a lot of it is I end up just analyzing how they did it and not what's actually going on in the show.
Well, I can tell you they did Avatar in front of a giant green screen. That's how they did that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm well aware.
That wasn't a filmed on location thing.
It was a location.
Yeah,
it's a sound studio.
Studio 14. No, I really enjoy that side of movies though, Michael. Let me clarify. Not as much the part which you're talking about, like the actual practical, how did they do that specifically? How did they mount that camera there? How did they get that angle? Whatever. But I end up finding myself watching YouTube videos on it a lot of how directors use different camera angles and shot types and changes in camera angles to add to what they're telling. A big scene is Inglourious Bastards, and I'll give you a sneak peek. That's definitely going to be in my top 3.
Not if someone gets it first.
Yeah, true. But Inglourious Bastards, the scene where they're in the bar that's underground, like in the basement.
Yep.
There's like a whole thing of that back room kind of being hinted at but not shown. I've watched so many different breakdowns on that scene, which is kind of is arguably one of the greatest just single scenes in a movie ever, if in my opinion, but also other people's. So of course there's plenty of things to watch and hear about it, but I enjoy, that's why like I think I've enjoyed Quentin Tarantino movies in general, because the more I watch him, the more I see things that he does. So, but yeah, not as much the actual like set design and camera setup and all that side of it, but in terms of how a director uses angles and different types of camera movements and stuff to tell the story, that stuff I'm interested in. I think it's awesome to learn about.
Yeah, I mean, I love all of it, right? From the directorial side to the production side. One of the coolest things I've found on YouTube, there was a company, I think they were called, it was FX It in Post. And they did basically like a reel for their company, like a pitch reel almost, of them recreating a scene from Star Wars, but with modern visual effects and green screen technology. And they, because it's a like hire us kind of reel, they jump back and forth and like show how they did stuff and like go from the green screen and then show them like layering in the background and the smoke effects and all that kind of stuff. And it was just, I mean, I watched it. It's I want to say it's like a 13-minute video. I've probably watched it for hours, just looking at different aspects of it and how did they do that. And, it's one of those things I still like, I don't have enough technical knowledge of the software to be able to recreate it, but I would love to give it a try. Like I really at some point want to set up a green screen and just play around with like producing against a green screen.
Do you know if those are the same people that did the video with one of the John Wick movies where they went back in and basically added realistic gun effects, sounds, muzzle flash, smoke, all that good stuff?
I don't know if it's the same company. I mean, there's a handful of different. I say a handful. There's a lot of people out there that do that kind of stuff.
Got you. Yeah, that was a cool video too. Same concept. Well, maybe not to the. It doesn't sound like it was to the same extent, but they did a similar thing with John Wick movies, and it was insane watching the before and after. And it makes you wonder, like now, and John Wick obviously not as much as, or Star Wars not as much as John Wick, just because it was so long ago, and obviously they used a lot more practical effects and all that, which is awesome to look at how they did some of the things in Star Wars back in the day, but the John Wick ones, like watching the before and after and sitting there, it makes you wonder, like, why the heck didn't they do this in the first place? It looks infinitely better. But again, it's, the difference in technology in just 5 years, let alone whatever the time frame was between Star Wars then and what you're talking about.
Well, and two, I think it also has to do with, the availability of that company at that time. Like, were they still just developing their technology? Was that something that was even on the market? Not necessarily that it was advanced for its time or it wasn't around, but like if this group specializes in that and they're not well known to Hollywood or a video producer, are they able to then get that acknowledgement or that recognition out there in time for someone to pick them up?
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like this YouTube channel hasn't been updated in a few years at this point. So either they got work and they're busy or they disbanded. But
hopefully the former for their sake.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll link it so people can find it. But if you want to find it without going to find the link on YouTube, it is at FX It in Post. So youtube.com/at FX It in Post. Really, really cool stuff that they did. If you want to get a behind the scenes of like how green screen shots are done, it is really cool. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. Like a technical breakdown of filmmaking. My dream would be someday we could all get together, like, when I accumulate all my friends in Charlotte, like it's an infinity gauntlet, and we can like have a space where we can really like do production kind of stuff. I really want to get into doing like shorts. I don't write them. I'm not a writer, unfortunately. We need somebody to come up with good ideas.
Make a shitty Netflix movie.
I can be the writer. I have ideas.
Can work on.
Me and Brittle will be co-writers.
There you go. But like, I would love to just write like a series of like, I don't know if any of y'all have ever watched them, but the old like RT shorts where it's just little like handful of minutes, 5, 6, 7 minute, sometimes little just comedy skits. I think it would be a ton of fun. Just for me, the fun in that is the production, like going through the production, and y'all would hate me. but I think it
I-
would be a whole lot of fun.
I think I lost you boys. I said let's make a crappy Netflix movie, and then nothing. Technical difficulties on my end, but going zero context of what you guys responded to it. What a timeline that would be if 20 years from now, some random guys have a podcast and they make a draft, and our shitty Netflix movie is on their draft.
I can confirm. I put a list of 24 movies I know I have watched.
Jeez, that's what he's been doing for 20 minutes. It's like, have I?
Tyler, I do
Shane
like
has
your
not
idea.
said a word, but he has been listing.
I think I have watched 20 movies in the last 2 months.
I'm pretty sure I'm about there as well. Austin.
About 7 of them are from one series.
Me and Heather, before we even started dating, because me and Heather have been friends for over half our lives, we loved going to the movies together. And if you remember the Movie Pass app, we used the hell out of that thing when it first came out, to where we were kind of like the people that skewed the whole number, because it was like a subscription. You pay like something like $8 or $10 a month, and then you get literally unlimited movies, but you could go like one movie a day, and we would go all the time. So I mean, if like we would watch the entirety of what the catalog, I guess, of that movie theater was, it'd be like, all right, let's go this day and this day. And we just did that before we even were dating. And then we started dating. It's like, let's go even more. And so we love movies, and I have seen, like Tyler said, anywhere from great movies to the absolute bottom of the barrel just to say we watched it. And what's even great now is we have a 4-year-old. When he was 2, before we were wise enough to put a password on our Amazon Fire Stick, he decided to buy a what is George Clooney and Sandra Bullock rom-com. And God, that movie had some good lines, but it was a terrible movie.
What was it?
It was George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. They had a daughter who was getting married. I remember the storyline. I don't remember what the movie was called, but their daughter was getting married. They have been divorced. They hated each other, and their daughter like married like a rice farmer or some seaweed farmer, a seaweed farmer from obviously not America. And so they had a destination wedding, and they get there and they end up getting trapped on an island, and they have to like survive trying to get back home. All the while they're trying to like break up their daughter's marriage. And then they actually find that they do in fact still love each other. Terrible movie, terrible premise, but had some funny lines in it. Cause I mean, it's still George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. So they could probably make a D tier movie a B just by being in it.
Are you 100% confident it was those two? Because I'm looking up their movies. The only thing that comes up is Gravity and Ocean's 8.
Am I sure? No.
Ocean's 8?
Yes. Ocean's 8.
That was
came
the
out in
redo.
2018.
Yeah. The all female
You're-
oceans.
Then you're not getting the full list, because she was also in Oceans 11, 12, and 13.
No. Both of them. When I looked up both of them.
George Clooney was
Yeah.
also in Oceans 11,
Oh,
12,
gotcha.
and 13.
I haven't watched any of the Ocean's movies.
Oh, like, no, he's the main guy. You
Okay,
should.
so-
I mean, those are great heist movies.
Okay, then I will have to add those
Ticket
to the
to
list.
Paradise, and it was Julia Roberts, not Sandra
Julia
Bullock.
Roberts,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No,
Oh,
but
you know what? Hey, it's Julia Roberts in Oceans 11, 12, and 13 also.
Hey, we managed to get all the points put together. We're there.
Those two are interchangeable in my head.
And that's why I got Sandra Bullock out of it. I was like, it was Sandra Bullock. And I was like, no, that's Julia Roberts.
All right, this episode's just gonna be how many drafts can we get? We're gonna have drafts of movies out of the Ocean's 8 and 11, 12, 13 cast.
Jesus Christ. We have 30 drafts in the barrel, and we haven't done one. Like,
That's what I'm
pump the
saying.
brakes on the draft. We might not even do one at this point.
we're overwhelmed with draft choices. Draft
We have to
choices.
do
We're
this
going
one.
to
I'm
be
building
30
up.
episodes in the podcast, and someone's going to be like, have they done a single draft?
Hold
No,
on,
we haven't
hold
done a
on.
draft.
The wheels are turning now, Austin. A draft of drafts.
I need you to quit, or I'm going to quit.
One of us is going to be done after
Someone-
this episode.
Someone needs to be done in the next 45 minutes, and it's not going to be me.
Okay, I will not give any more draft suggestions until we can complete at least
We
one.
better do this one because I have a whole draft board now.
Shane's
Shane's been
been
working
prepping.
on it this whole time.
We're gonna finish this episode and be like, all right, draft time, right?
Surprise, Brittle. Movies, but don't tell him anything about. Just we need movies. Pick 20 movies. Don't tell him what it's for. Just 20 movies.
No context. 20
Yep.
movies.
See how he does in this.
I bet I could name 12 of his 20 that he would list.
I bet we all could.
That's true. That's true.
What
You
does
ever
that
see
say about Brittle?
That he communicates who he is very well to everybody.
Yeah.
He does not hide anything. He is not a secretive man. He is fairly open and fairly straightforward in a good way. In a good way.
Brittle reads like a picture book.
All right. I was trying to be
I'm not
nice.
saying he reads poorly, but like if you were reading Brittle, it's like a picture book.
I think that's valid. I think that is a valid assessment.
Boy, he'll be mad when he hears this one.
No,
I don't know if that's
Why?
pretty
Yeah, that checks
Brittle
out.
doesn't listen to the podcast.
That's also true.
Yeah,
If he can't show up for it, what makes you think he listens to it?
right.
good point.
I think I'm the only one that proofs these podcasts.
Yeah.
You guys ever
I mean,
see?
I proof it when I.
Well, yeah,
Edit
you edit it. I proof it. Therefore, I'm the only one that proofs it.
I think that sounds like a pretty good system. I definitely don't want to get in the middle of it and mess it up.
This is where we find out that me and Mike have no clue what we're doing, and we need as much help as possible.
Right?
Yeah, probably. Just shooting from the hip, man.
You guys ever seen those? I think it's mostly podcast people that do it, but the people that post their podcasts like clips, actual video clips of them recording them, but they do the things where it's they give a topic. So take for example sports teams, and they go back and forth saying how many they could name until one of them's like, you know what? I don't think you can name that many. I love those things. I think that it sounds like such a fun idea to do.
I have always wanted to, and I don't know how we would do it for Extra Life, but do a Survivor-esque challenge. Because there was one, and I never watched Survivor. I think when I was younger, I caught like a glimpse of one episode once. And all I remember from the clip was that there was a giant, like kind of like a trailer almost, and they would fill it up with logs, but they would be like, how many logs can you do? And someone would be like, I can do 40. And then someone would be like, well, I bet I could do 50. And then someone has to like challenge,
Yeah.
like, do I either say prove it or do I say I can do more? And then it's up to the person. Like once you say prove it, if they do it, then they win. I kind of always wanted to do something like that for Extra Life, but I was like, I don't know how we can manage to make something like that work. Just kind of like
load of
that.
60 logs at Michael's house.
Yeah, let's just load up. Hey, do you need firewood? We're just gonna go ahead and just buy a bunch of firewood and something to lift them.
Well, no,
I don't. Not at the moment.
So getting the firewood's not the hard part. Building a contraption to lift logs is the hard part.
yeah, that is tough. But
So I think that's going to be one of those things that I don't know if because we're not all in the same area, as Mike likes to remind us time and time again, that I don't know if we really have a good grasp on each other's strengths. Like who is like the strongest person? Because I bet it's going to be someone sneaky. Like someone that's like, nah, that person's not the strongest. Like in the zeitgeist, like that person doesn't seem like the strongest. And then they just like house all these logs and we're like, oh, didn't know you had that in you.
I feel like Shane would be the one to surprise you.
I don't know. He's been beating up ice rinks recently.
Mhm.
That's true. He's got
Yeah.
some wear and tear going on.
No, Tyler's got a fair point because there was a scenario I was in today where it took two people in a cart to move two of these boxes, and then I picked up the other one on my own and carried it. So I don't know how strong the rest of you are.
There's a term for that that's not politically correct in the year of our Lord 2025, so I'm not going to say it, but you can use your creativity. But yeah, Austin, exactly what you're talking about though with the Survivor thing. It's basically the same thing, just with naming stuff off, listing stuff off. I always thought it looked fun to do, but I feel like I would way overestimate what I was capable of. Like, yeah, I can name 82 foods. Let's go for it.
Right. It's kind of like the gun to your head, name a fruit without an A in it, and you're like,
Oh.
oh, I can do that. And then you're sitting there for 20 minutes, just
Yeah.
like with your head in your hands, like, banana, no, strawberry, no, I can't do this.
Cherry a fruit?
Cherry is a
win.
fruit.
Blueberries.
Oh, that's a good one. Overrated, if you ask me.
How dare you? They are full of
I knew
antioxidants.
it was going to be a divisive one, but overrated in my opinion.
I'm a pear guy.
I don't
I'm-
hate a pear.
I haven't found another person that their favorite fruit is a pear, and I'm
Not my
holding on to
favorite.
that. Oh, mine is. Favorite fruit is a
I
pear.
keep it simple. Apples, man. There's nothing better than an apple.
Well, as we have said time for several podcasts now, I think 3. I don't know. How many podcasts have we done since Extra Life? Doesn't matter. I have a list of stuff that has been weighing on my mind since my drive home. I have one, and I asked y'all a question last time, and I have another question for you. What is beer?
Like, what is it?
What is beer? I haven't
It
looked
is
this up.
fermented.
Obviously, these are questions I
allowed
can
to
go
look it
and
up?
look up myself. No, don't
Isn't
look it up because I didn't, because I
It's
could have
ferment-
3 weeks ago.
It's fermented
fermented
yeast,
wheat.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeast, wheat. There's different types for different beers.
Yeah, there
but
is different types, but it's basically fermented fruit. If you want to go that route,
That's wine.
not always.
No? Can beer be fermented fruit
I-
as well?
I mean, I'm blanking on what they're called, but you make them out of apples.
Are you talking about the ciders?
Red's Apple Ale.
Yes,
Are
that.
those considered a
or an
beer?
L.
I mean, Red's Apple Ale. I would assume that's a
Yeah.
beer.
That also sounds like a marketing strategy, though. You know.
I mean, it might be, but I think I would say a cider is akin
I mean,
to a
but
beer.
yes,
I mean, are we that far
all,
off?
All alcohol
Well,
is
it-
essentially the same process.
It's
but
called
using
a
different things.
Apple Ale. Ale is kind of its own thing, isn't it? Is ale,
Ale is
technically
a type of
beer?
beer. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ale is a type of beer, but yes, the different versions of beer.
so
come
it's
from
fermented.
What is fermented?
It's a
yes.
fermented something. What's root
Correct.
beer?
Shit.
There's nothing fermented in root beer. So
Well,
what is
I-
beer?
Again, okay, so at some point though, you have to differentiate somebody just naming something,
Uh huh.
which I guess you could argue the same thing with actual beer.
Uh huh. So what's beer?
You have stumped me, sir. Is there a more core name for beer itself, or is that just the
That's what I'm wondering. That is my
Cool.
question.
colloquial term?
The first thing I thought of is like root beer and ginger beer, which are 2 different brewing methods for something. I don't even know if it's brewed. I guess all beer is brewed. Is it something
All
that is
beer
brewed?
but is root beer brewed?
Yeah, you brew root beer.
Is it
Do you?
okay? Then yeah,
Don't you?
I would say that would.
Am I out of my
Yeah,
mind?
I can't stand this stuff, so I don't know.
I don't know that you do brew root beer. Well, what? Okay, what is brewing?
Not brewed in the traditional sense. Okay, so it is not brewed. So what is beer? How can you add beer to root beer and ginger beer, which are non-alcoholic, non-fermented?
I think that may be like the bastardization of the word, right?
Yeah, it's
like
just being used.
beer has existed a lot longer than root.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but it's kind of one of those things like if it is not like just because with today's market and the way things are out there and people be like, well, you can't call it that. Like if it is technically a false advertisement, then there would be lawsuits against this stuff. So what is beer?
No, because I mean, there's not it wouldn't be false advertising because it's been around long enough to essentially be grandfathered in, right? But also, beer isn't a like item in and of itself. It's like I don't know, like a category, I guess. And then you get those offshoots like ginger beer and root beer, and I think people just kind of accept it because it's always been around. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sitting here trying to rack my brain. Okay, so my question is as to what Michael's saying. Like, is beer, and I guess this is the question, but what we consider beer, forget root beer, ginger beer, actual alcoholic beer, Michelob Ultra.
No, we said actual beer.
Why'd you pick that one?
Huh?
We're not going to get into. We're not getting into that.
I'm not getting into the beer argument. That was just a generic beer I could name. Right? Is that how long has that type of liquid been called beer, or is that just the generalized term for it now? because, like you said, you have ales, you have pilsners, you have all these different variants. Is beer just a generic word for it?
Beer has been around for over 9,000 years.
That's what I was
Well,
going to say.
because-
I suspect beer has beer in and of itself has been around for a very long time, and I would suspect that the categorization of beer of like ales versus pilsners or any of the others is a relatively recent invention in terms of not recent as in like the last 20 years, but just like in terms of the scope of beer. I would bet that the categorization of them into subsets is relatively recent in the lifespan of beer. That's my guess.
Found a YouTube video of why it's called root quotations beer, and I feel like this would answer my question. I don't
Now,
want to
see,
click
I thought
on
we
it.
weren't looking stuff up. So
I'm
I've been
not.
sitting
I'm
here
not.
just
I'm not.
pulling shit
I'm
out of my
not
ass.
looking up the answer.
So,
I'm
okay,
not.
well, here's my question. Which one came first?
Beer.
Are you confident?
You think root beer's been around for 9,000 years?
But, okay, let's think about this literally, though.
Considering root beer is carbonated, yeah, I'm gonna say.
I
Yeah.
bet it wasn't originally.
I'm gonna bet there wasn't really. Now, are
Beer
you saying
wasn't-
like somebody? Now, are you saying like somebody fermenting roots? Because
That's what
not
I'm
really
wondering
root,
if that's.
but that's
where
not
it
really
came
root beer.
from.
that's
Oh,
not
well,
the
okay, but-
that's not the current root beer.
But beer we drink now isn't even remotely close to what we used to drink. Like you talk
It's
about
true.
things.
No, you're right. Not the beer you drink. You're correct.
What are you drinking? Old beer? I don't like. But what I'm saying is that's a hard distinction to make now. If we're talking about what it was originally versus what it is
Well,
now.
Well, okay, so I'm leaning towards Mike here because I know just
Kiss ass.
in America. Well, it's because in America, Yingling is a beer company that has been around for a long time. I think almost since America was founded. I believe it's pre-1800s. And I looked it up. Root beer, the drink that we have, was invented in 1875. So even the beer we drink now has been around longer than root beer has.
And that's fair. So, but like to what we're talking about, okay, you think of things like mead, for example, these old Nordic alcoholic beverages. Those are essentially, they made those the way we now make liquor. But they didn't have the technology to be able to extract everything as well as we can now, right? So it's the same concept, the same process, but what we have now is like 40-50% alcohol or 200 proof. I don't know how the proof numbers work, but it's like 50% alcohol versus back then I would bet what they were drinking was closer to the percentage of beer now.
Isn't mead closer to like wine?
It is. I'm just using an old form of alcohol as an example. It is, though. You're right. It's closer to a wine than it is a beer. But even so, now still wine, you get some wines that are 15-16% alcohol versus a beer is generally 5 or something like that.
What point were we trying to make here? Because
is
I've
beer?
gotten
This
lost.
was your idea.
No, I meant with like his
Fix
point of
this.
the mead bit.
Well, I'm just saying it's what that was then to what it is now is entirely different. Mead could almost be the beer of then.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if mead and wine have really changed in the process since its inception. Like, obviously, we have stuff like preservatives in it, and that wasn't back then, or the same kind of preservatives at least. But I don't think the brewing method or the cultural fermentation has really changed much.
I don't think so either. And actually, so I decided to look up the history of mead. If anything, I would actually categorize it closer to beer because it's made from honey products,
Yeah.
not fruit.
Yeah, and the whole thing with it originally was from what I understand, they couldn't drink a lot of the water, so it was safer to have something like that to drink regularly. But so yeah, I mean, and if you've never tried mead, don't. It sucks. I did try it one time, but
It's one of those things you have to find a good one, because I've had mead several times, and I've had good mead and I've had bad mead.
fair enough. I'm still at a loss here. Everything in me wants to sit here and search stuff, but I don't want to do it.
Right. I've been trying to like skirt around, like get context clues.
Yeah. I
as
did
to
look up
what-
which came first, beer or root beer, and it didn't tell me much. It just said that root beer was pre-colonial. So
That's
indigenous
not
people.
true.
According to this.
What the root beer?
See, and that's what I'm saying, is at what point
How did I get
are you-
1875?
So the turning point, according to this just AI Google answer, the turning point
That's
was in the
dangerous.
1870s.
Oh, that's your problem.
Well, yeah, no, but see, what I'm saying is where the name apparently derived from was indigenous people using the roots of whatever plant, God knows, and making things out of it, and I guess they called it root beer. I guess they didn't call it that because that wouldn't have been the language either, but for that matter. But I don't know. Again, at what point are you consider? I mean, when you're talking about root beer, modern day root beer, I'm sure your 1875 answer is correct.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the modern one because it accredited to a pharmacist who created it, but it has always made me wonder, like, why is it called root beer when just everyone knows beer is an alcoholic drink? And yet root beer isn't. Ginger beer can be. I mean, I have found ginger beers that are alcoholic, non-alcoholic. And then you have non-alcoholic beer. Is it technically a beer if it doesn't have alcohol?
I would say no, but I don't know if that's true.
But you said you did look up, and it was not. You said it was not brewed in a standard way, right? I am gonna. Well, I don't want to look it up. I do want to look it up, but I don't because now I want the answer.
I know. In my trying to look this up, that's when I saw the YouTube video of why is it called root beer, and it's just like, okay, that's going to obviously be an after this podcast deep dive. But I've always thought about that because when I was a kid, I thought about it like. Dad has a beer, and I'm like, oh, I got my root beer. I'm just like Dad. And it's like, obviously not. I'm a child. But it's just like, where did that etymology come from for beer that it is accepted in something that is not, quote unquote, a beer?
Okay, so I don't know how true this is. And this is just in that same answer from what I looked up earlier. And I don't know if you remember right at the beginning of this, I said, I think that's just a marketing move. Apparently, the beer in root beer comes from its historical connection to these fermented small beers, and the name appealed to consumers wanting an alternative to alcoholic beer. Again, this is an AI answer. That could be way off.
Yeah,
But-
I'm getting a different
Stop
answer.
going to the AI answers.
I'm
I'm on
not going to.
Wikipedia.
It's just when I search something on Google, it's the first thing that comes up. So I'm just reading.
We've already talked about
Um,
how the AI bubble's a bad thing. Stop contributing to it.
Hey, Austin, did you figure out what the fuck the bubble is?
No,
Oh, okay.
we're on to beer.
He did figure it out. He just doesn't want to admit it.
He choose to be blind to the bubble.
I'm trying to figure out what beer is now. I'm focused.
I'm up to 37 movies now.
I
Is
feel
the
like you're
bubble
never going to get a
clear?
consistent answer on this.
Is the bubble from carbonation?
Oh my god, is there a root beer bubble?
Ooh,
Ooh.
there's lots of those. I've seen them.
Yeah, true. Every time I open one, I get a million root beer bubbles. Do you like root beer?
I love root beer.
I do too. See,
I
it's so
like
hard
it.
to find people that like root beer.
Michael's the odd one out. I think the three of us all like it.
Well, we knew he was a heathen.
Yeah, I've always been the odd one out on that. Root beer, tea, I never got the hang of them. I can't do it.
I don't like tea.
I mean, I'm on that side. Like, I don't actually like Coca-Cola.
Oh,
I don't like Coke either.
I do like it like as a mixer. Like if you put like a rum and Coke in front of me, yes, but like a Coca-Cola by itself, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm the other. I like Coca-Cola. I prefer Dr. Pepper
I
or
love
Mountain
Dr.
Dew.
Pepper.
What about Pepsi?
no.
What
No.
other brands can
Disgusting.
we
Black Coke.
never get a sponsorship for that we can just go ahead and crush?
RC Cola.
Now here's the thing. I will say I'm not going to shoot down the Pepsi sponsorship as long as it's Mountain Dew.
See, and I want to shoot down a Coca-Cola sponsorship because they have more money than God.
Well, and I would drink Coke Zero all day. Not all
Hey,
day.
my attitude towards Pepsi will change with a sponsorship. So
Yeah, Shane can be bought.
Coca-Cola owns Monster, so yeah.
Uh,
Shane has
one
low
that-
morals.
One that used to be really good to me, but every time I try to drink it as an adult, it's like, this sucks, is Sundrop.
Oh, really? I don't remember the last time I had a Sundrop, but I
couldn't
think I
even-
like them.
I couldn't even tell you what it tastes like.
I used to love Sundrop, but every time I've tried to like taste it in the last couple of years, it's just like, this is
See,
not what I remember.
Sundrop isn't sold up here. So when I come down to North Carolina, I usually have one and I like it. I have a collector can sitting on a shelf somewhere.
Austin, if I asked you, what's your favorite off-the-wall carbonated soda drink, what would you say?
Currently Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
No, off the wall. I'm not talking
Oh,
generic
off
stuff.
the wall?
I'm calling back to Extra Life here. I
Oh,
think.
Big Red. 100%.
Big Red. Okay, so we went in Buc-ee's the other day. You know what Buc-ee's had on tap?
Did they have Big Red?
They had it on the fountain. But here's the kicker. They didn't even have Coke Zero, but they had Big Red on the fountain.
That's because it's a superior drink.
There's a lot of places that won't have Coke Zero on a fountain.
Yeah, great. And that upset
It's so
Grace
weird.
highly because she loves Coke Zero.
Why?
I have no idea. Like this, Coke Zero is one of their most popular products, but you will almost never find a fountain of it.
I'm wondering if
Yeah,
it has to do with the aspartame.
You know those newfangled, like, where it's got the touchscreen and you can put the flavors in it and
Yeah,
stuff?
Coke Freestyle.
Yeah, the freestyles, they normally have Coke Zero. But in like a traditional, just like, you know, where it's lined up and you got to like push the little metal thing that hangs down. And yeah, most of those won't have Coke Zero.
Interesting.
Boggles the mind.
Wonder if there's something to that.
Is it a conspiracy?
They want you to be fat.
Oh, are we reopening the conspiracy theory
Oh,
talk?
please do, because I've got a good one. And this is one I
Y'all are gonna have to make that your own podcast, because like when y'all start going down the conspiracy theory route, my eyes just glaze over.
Come
Tyler, you
on.
want to do a conspiracy theory podcast?
We can.
with
I'm
me?
so down.
Also,
So
we've already
down.
been going for 50 minutes. Let's not.
Have we
let's
really?
not start right
Yeah,
now.
I feel like
Sure
we've only
have.
been talking for like 15.
Okay, well, I had about
Here's the
13
deal.
more things, but we'll hold off.
Here's the deal: if y'all want to start a conspiracy theory podcast, Austin, you can edit it, and we can publish a weekly or bi-weekly episode. I can't take it on. I can't manage it myself. So I'll do the scheduling work if I need to, but I can't produce it.
What would be our conspiracy theory podcast name?
Ah,
Anything come to your mind off the top of your head?
no, I'd have to think about that.
What I really want you to make next is how brittle are you?
God, I just love the name. If he ever stopped astral projecting, that we could get to it, but
I can't think of a good conspiracy theory title.
I gotta say, one of my favorite podcast names of all time is Red Web. I love that name.
it's
I
fitting.
wish I
It's
had-
creative.
It's so good, right? And it's got levels to it. It's like Shrek. It's got layers.
I get that reference.
Jane, you ever seen Shrek?
Oh, I have. I can add that to the
Is
list.
that on your list?
I'm up to
Where's that on
38
your
now.
movie rating list?
I'm up to 38 now, in no order.
All right.
Shane's already ready. We're gonna have to do these drafts. Shane's already put in all the
I'm
work.
telling you, I'm happy. I'm excited for the drafts.
I'll be honest. I got to 21, and then I just started going through all the streaming platforms and looking for movies I'd watch. I'm like, oh yeah, I did.
Looking at your history of streams.
No, not even history, because it's been so long since I've watched a movie that it doesn't show up in my history. So I just clicked on the movies tab and it went through like all the different genres. I'm I've seen that one. Yep. And then a lot of clicking past stuff I've never seen before.
All right, Shane, I'm gonna test you with, since we have like a few minutes left.
Okay.
I want you to pick the 7th movie on your list. What's the name of that one?
Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay.
Ah, it's too easy. I was gonna get you to tell me the plot of it. Yeah, we'll save some of those, but I'm excited about the movie ones. I could talk about movies for a while and conspiracy theories.
Pick a different number.
Let's go 11.
Cars.
Harold and Kumar go somewhere else. No,
Cars.
what was it?
Cars.
Car. Okay,
It's a good movie.
it's a great movie, but I was trying to challenge him a little bit here. But apparently, he's only watched movies where the plot is in the title.
Well, you know, we have the fact that someone is a Lightning McQueen fan.
Did you know? No. That was still such a bizarre interaction. I need to go check on that guy at the old Food Lion, see how he's doing.
All right. Well, we are coming close to time, so we will call it here. As of this recording, we are how many days? We are the week of Christmas. So if you are celebrating Christmas, give someone the gift of listening to this podcast. You can share this podcast with them. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google. Are we on Google Podcasts?
Well, Google Podcast doesn't exist anymore. It's now called YouTube.
That's right, YouTube Podcast. We're on YouTube, and YouTube has technically a podcast section, which is odd to me.
Which is what we're in.
Yep. And then we are also on Spotify as well. Did I get them all this
And
time?
Amazon.
Amazon. Damn it. One of these days I'll learn where we are.
I did look though, and we have one listen on Amazon.
Hey, that's
So-
I'm
Thank
okay
you,
with that.
Dedicated Amazon.
Yeah.
listener.
Whoever you are, thank you.
I would be honest, I didn't even know Amazon had like podcasts until I was trying to figure out where all we were going to distribute this.
I found out 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, we get a couple listens on iTunes or on Apple Podcasts. We get a handful on Spotify, and the bulk of our people listen on YouTube. Because if you want to see some of the visual aspects of some of the things we talk about, we do actually kind of flash them up on screen on the YouTube video. So if you want to see what we're talking about, go there. I had the thought, and I'm going to have to figure out how to do it. It probably won't happen for a little while, but I may try and I need to rebuild our website, and I may start a section of our website that will be the link dump, where we'll link anything that we talk about, links to videos, links to, stuff we talk about. If we're, linking, if we're able to, we'll link to it so people can go see what we're talking about. So that'll
My
come
Google
probably,
Doc.
what?
Link them to my Google Doc of movies
Your
I've
Google
watched.
Doc.
I was about to say, if you're lucky, you might get to watch Shane making his list while we're talking.
Yeah. So yeah, that may be a down the road thing that we try and implement. That way you can go and find on our website what the things we talk about. So we'll see how that works. I have some rough ideas, but the website's not really built right now. I need to completely revamp it. So that's a 2026 project. We'll see how that goes.
We'll
Oh,
get
we're
there.
Not that far away either.
No.
God, no. Just a mere week of this podcast. But if you would like to follow us, we are on almost every social. Not Truth. Can't emphasize that enough. How we're not on Truth. But we are on Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Zanga. Go find us. Am I the only one that remembers Zanga?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely remember.
Well, when you
Zanga.
said go find us, I was like, is that gofindus.com? gofindus.net?
Podcastlistener.com.
Yeah. Please search our name.
God, we need to bring back Zanga. Wonder what their
I don't
stocks
know.
are
I
like
don't
right
even know
now.
what that is. That sounds like the Mexican
was a-
ice cream dish.
No, that was a me and Michael middle school social media
Yeah.
pre MySpace.
I don't think it exists anymore.
I
think-
guarantee you it does not.
I think they now make games.
Do they?
I don't know.
Go buy a Zanga game and tell them
Or
Roundabout
don't.
sent you.
Or don't. That's perfectly okay too.
No, go buy it. Tell them Roundabout sent you, and they're like, "I gotta check out this Roundabout thing," and then they come find us.
Sponsor.
Marketing.
First sponsor.
This is our guerrilla
Antiquated
marketing
social
tactic.
media.
We just start telling people to go places and tell them we sent them. So those companies have to be like, "Who are these people?"
I can't find it. Yeah, it's got to be gone.
I know it is. I think I remember the day they went offline. But anyways, thank y'all for listening to this podcast. Please rate, like, comment. Can people comment on Amazon Podcast? Is that a feature?
I think you can comment on Spotify.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Amazon.
I don't know about Amazon.
I just found out we're on Amazon, so I'm wondering how that works. Like, I'm pretty sure you can rate, but can you comment on Amazon Podcast?
I don't know. I just learned the other day if you search for pants on Amazon, you can sort the reviews by the size and the height and the weight of the person reviewing it.
Wait, that's awesome.
It's great.
Jane, are you trying to build us a website right now?
Yeah.
No,
He has one.
That's the coding for his list.
No. I'm building. I asked ChatGPT to build me a website. I didn't tell it anything else. I don't know what this is.
Just
gonna
build
do.
me a website.
Yeah. The
Well,
prompt-
if it has your past searches, it's going to build it purely off of what you have asked it. So be wary.
Oh God.
the prompt
we need
was strictly, "Can you build me a website?" And then it just started spitting out code.
Yeah, that's gonna be a Pornhub copy if I've ever seen one.
Make it. We'll view it in a.
I'm gonna see what it does.
I don't want to. Anyways, y'all have a blessed holiday season, whatever holiday you are celebrating at this time, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.